The Kansas City Chiefs are breaking the NFL. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Kansas City Chiefs news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Kansas City Chiefs signing Tyler Boyd will surprise and break the NFL more than we know. Following the Algeria Sneed trade that was finalized this last week, the Kansas City Chiefs now have a lot more cap space with Sneed's franchise tag number coming off the books. Sneed was due $19.8 million on the franchise tag for 2024. But with him now officially being a Tennessee Titan, the Chiefs have over $20 million in cap space that will allow them to make some smaller signings before and after the draft. A couple of names that it would appear Kansas City would pivot to with this money are some of their own free agents, such as defensive end Mike Dana and left tackle Donovan Smith. We also saw Kansas City agree to terms with backup quarterback Carson Wentz and running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire on one-year deals, so moves are already starting to happen. Even though the Chiefs already signed veteran wide receiver Hollywood Brown, this offseason, many of us would still like to see the team bring in another veteran to solidify the depth of the position and bring in yet another reliable target for Mahomes. Per The Athletic, the Chiefs have mutual interest with a free agent at the Position, former Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Tyler Boyd. There are still plenty of viable free agent receivers out there for Kansas City to sign, but one in particular that makes a bit of sense is Boyd. While Boyd is a little bit older than some may realize, the team wouldn't be on the hook for more than a year or two. The fact of the matter is, at this point in free agency, if a player is still available, then he's probably not getting that multi-year deal. In Boyd's case, it would be smart to take a little bit less like Brown did to play with Patrick Mahomes for a chance at winning a Super Bowl and then hope to earn a better payday next offseason. Boyd has been extremely consistent throughout his NFL career as he's caught over 500 passes for 6,000 yards and 31 TDs. While some will point out that his numbers have been on a steady decline over the last few years, he's also been asked to be the number 3 wide receiver at most since the team drafted Ja'Marr Chase a few years ago. Also, he wouldn't be coming to Kansas City to be any more than the 3rd option at wide receiver anyway. The one true pushback to signing Boyd is that he's almost exclusively a slot receiver, and that creates an awkward fit with Rashee Rice on the roster because Rice thrives in the slot. Of course, with the developments over the holiday weekend involving Rashee Rice, all of a sudden a signing like this becomes more realistic. If Rice is suspended by the NFL for any length of time, the Chiefs are going to want someone who can fill in there. Boyd can do that. Not only that, but if Rice continues to expand his role on the outside, then Boyd can coexist with Rice within the Chiefs' offense. We saw what happened last year when it initially looked like Kansas City had a lot of depth at wide receiver in the preseason, and then things didn't work out. By midseason, they were trying everything they possibly could to give the team a chance to win games. A good way to prevent that would be to cut your losses and bring in as many quality receivers as possible. Boyd would be another quality wide receiver to add to the mix. The Kansas City Chiefs just won their 2nd consecutive Super Bowl as part of an epic run with names like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid. However, their future in Missouri might not be guaranteed. A few days ago, all the attention was on free agency when the Chiefs made big moves to defend the title. For example, Chris Jones got a massive contract extension, and Marquise Hollywood Brown arrived as new wide receiver. Now, even with all that success in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs could leave home. A sales tax measure, which, according to Chairman and CEO Clark Hunt, might change the future of the franchise. We would not be willing to sign a lease for another 25 years without the financing to properly renovate and reimagine the stadium. The financing puzzle is very important to us to make sure we have enough funds to do everything we've outlined. The second story is Patrick Mahomes tipped to have new wide receiver weapon from NFL draft, with Kansas City Chiefs making shock pick. The Kansas City Chiefs have been predicted to add a young pass catcher in the NFL draft to help Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs' potential need to add a wide receiver in the 2024 NFL draft comes after legal troubles with a star wideout. Kansas City has the number 32 overall pick after winning the Super Bowl in February. It was their 2nd straight Super Bowl victory as the Chiefs will look to three-peat. With the NFL draft approaching later in the month, Kansas City has been tipped to select Georgia wide receiver Ladd McConkey, according to Fansided's Cody Williams. Putting in Andy Reid's system would make a ton of sense with his ability to run virtually any route and find the open space, Williams wrote. That could open things up fully and have a huge impact on KC. The Chiefs led the league in wide receiver drops last season. In the offseason, Kansas City signed star wide receiver Hollywood Brown to a one-year deal worth up to $11 million. However, Mahomes and the Chiefs have a potential even clearer need at the wideout spot due to pass catcher Rashee Rice's recent legal troubles. Rice was allegedly involved in a 6-car crash in Dallas as the police were searching for him after the accident. The 23-year-old retained counsel and released a statement on Wednesday, apologizing for the situation, and added, "He takes full responsibility for my part in this matter." Due to Rice's uncertain future, the Chiefs could prepare to draft a wide receiver like McConkey in the upcoming draft. McConkey won 2 national titles with Georgia. In 2022, he had a career season, recording 58 catches for 762 yards and 5 touchdowns. And McConkey posted 2 touchdowns against TCU in the national championship victory in that same campaign. However, he struggled last season as the 6-foot, 185-pounder suffered numerous injuries. McConkey played in 9 games and tallied 29 receptions for 456 yards and 2 touchdowns. The pass catcher is expected to be a late first, early second-round pick. On Wednesday, McConkey joined Kay Adams' Up and Adams show and revealed that he wouldn't mind being selected by the Baltimore Ravens as the team's offensive coordinator Todd Monken coached him in Georgia. "It would be cool. His thing is everything matters," McConkey said. "I think he's probably kept that motto in the NFL." The Kansas City Chiefs have a new experienced backup quarterback. Veteran quarterback Carson Wentz is signing a one-year deal with the Chiefs, a person familiar with the situation told USA Today Sports. They spoke on condition of anonymity because they aren't authorized to disclose the deal. Wentz is slated to be Kansas City's top backup quarterback behind 2-time NFL MVP and 3-time Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are Wentz's 5th team in as many seasons. Wentz was originally the 2nd overall pick in the 2016 NFL Draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. He played 5 years in Philadelphia and was selected for the Pro Bowl in 2017 after helming the Eagles in the regular season prior to tearing his ACL. The Eagles traded Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts in 2021. He was Indianapolis's starting QB for 1 season before the Colts traded him to the Washington Commanders prior to the 2022 season. He had a rocky campaign in Washington and was released at the end of the 2023 season. The Los Angeles Rams signed Wentz last year to serve as Matthew Stafford's backup. He appeared in 2 games in Los Angeles and registered 1 start. Wentz has started in 93 career games but has only started in 8 contests since 2021. The quarterback has tallied 22,292 passing yards, 153 touchdowns, and 67 interceptions in 95 career games, resulting in an 89.4 all-time passer rating. Wentz provides the Chiefs a veteran insurance plan behind Mahomes. The third story is Kansas City Chiefs showing interest in decisive one-cut runner. The Kansas City Chiefs are showing interest in Boise State running back George Holani, ahead of the NFL Draft, according to multiple league sources. Holani and the Chiefs met after the 5th-year senior capped his collegiate career while rushing for 748 yards and 7 touchdowns, while averaging 5.6 yards per carry. It wouldn't be the least bit surprising to see the Kansas City Chiefs prioritize coming away from draft weekend with a running back. The Kansas City Chiefs could be looking for quality and young running back depth during this year's NFL Draft, even after re-signing Clyde Edwards-Helaire. During his 5 seasons at Boise State, Holani totaled 3,596 yards with 26 touchdowns while averaging 5.2 yards per carry. Holani also added 777 receiving yards and 8 career touchdowns, underscoring his versatility and potential scheme fit in Patrick Mahomes' supporting cast with the Kansas City Chiefs. Holani departs Boise State as one of the more prolific and productive running backs in the program's history. Finishing the 2021 season as Boise's leading rusher, he still rushed for 569 yards despite missing 3 games due to injury. Holani's physical and downhill running style helped him pick up significant yardage after contact, which could prove to be an asset for him at the NFL level. Decisive runner with good size and power but a limited ceiling. NFL media's Lance Zierlein writes of Holani. Holani is disciplined to keep runs on track and is a classic one-cutter, able to stick his foot in the ground and take it downhill with crisp cuts. During the NFL Combine, Holani posted a 4.52-second 40-yard dash, while putting up 24 reps on the bench press and adding a 39-dash vertical jump, which was third among all running backs in Indianapolis. The Buffalo Bills' decision to trade W.R. Stephon Diggs to the Houston Texans could create an opportunity for the Kansas City Chiefs to make a trade of their own to acquire a wide receiver. Diggs joins a crowded wide receiver room in Houston, and his addition creates a logjam of sorts. Players like Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Noah Brown, and Robert Woods are atop the depth chart alongside Diggs,